What's up, dude? What's up, Magic fans? This is OrlandoMagic.com's Dan Savage, and we're here in Toronto getting ready for the Orlando Magic game against the Toronto Raptors. And if you know anything about the battle about these two teams, two defensive-minded, very focused teams that are dialed in on getting a win by having their defense fuel their offense. And so for the Orlando Magic, they're coming off a big win over the Denver Nuggets the other night, 127 to 126. In that victory, we saw the Magic do a lot of things that we want to see them do. Anthony Black, sensational, scoring 38 points. The Magic came up with a ton of clutch buckets. Wendell Carter Jr. had a strong second half. Paolo Banchero came up with big plays on both ends down the stretch, and the Magic came away with a hard-fought victory, shutting down Jamal Murray in the final moments. And you look at those numbers, despite getting out-rebounded by the Nuggets, the Magic outmoved the basketball compared to a Denver Nuggets team that's extremely well-fueled offensively by Nikola Jokic, the NBA's leader in assists. And the Magic went shot for shot with them, shooting over 50% from the field. Really, what I thought did that was their defense fueling their offense in the second half. But as you remember about Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet, this is a show fueled by you. So getting all your comments and questions on YouTube and on TikTok, Twitter, etc. More than happy to answer them as we do a live look-in on the court here at Scotiabank Arena as Wendell Carter Jr., Jonathan Isaac, and a few players from the Raptors get up shots as well. Alpha takes the win, lock in Orlando Magic. Yes, that's a key against this Raptors team because they play with such pace on both ends of the floor, top 5 in the NBA in deflections, that if you lose your focus at any point in the game, they can go on a run. And we saw that in overtime against the Golden State Warriors, where they end up winning that game by about 14 points, despite it being an extra session. So that's the type of effect they could have when they're disrupting passing lanes and getting out and running. The Raptors can be effective that very part. United shoes, I can't get a good look. I'm up on a perch here. I can't see what JI is rocking tonight, but good chance that he's rocking them. Unlikely Jellyfish missed last game. Ooh, that was a tough one to miss. Because the Magic were so effective down the stretch of that one. Exciting win. Tonight's matchup, you look at the numbers here, very similar teams in a lot of aspects of the way they like to play the game of basketball, disrupt defensively, get out and run offensively. The Magic putting up more points per game, shooting a little bit less from the field, more effective on the glass, especially with guys like Jakob Poeltl out for Toronto. They're really struggling on the interior. They recently signed Mo Bamba to a deal, and he was just called up right before this basketball game, so we may see his face as they try to figure it out down low and in the interior. Both top 3 teams in points off turnovers, and Magic winning the second chance points battle on the season. But that's an area Magic head coach Jamal Mosley would like to see them get better at. Something we talked to him pregame about as well. There's a guy, both of those guys, Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter Jr., so effective down the stretch for the Orlando Magic against the Denver Nuggets. Wendell did a great job in the second half, 13 points. Jonathan Isaac was disruptive. I felt like his minutes swung that basketball game, got the Magic back in it. He was stripping the ball from Jonas Valanciunas, really playing well on both ends of the floor. And that was the type of Jonathan Isaac that we need to see all season long. Spoke to Jonathan Isaac. He was very aware of what challenges the Toronto Raptors present, knows that they're going to be trying to get in the passing lanes, and was really focused on the Magic taking care of the basketball tonight. And I think that's going to be so important. Alpha takes a win. Tough defense and offense for the Orlando Magic tonight. Absolutely. This is going to be one of those gritty games. When you play an opponent who plays in similar fashion to you, it can get chippy, and I could see that happening tonight against the Raptors. What's Will Dawson with a good question? What's the secret to slow down Scotty Barnes? He was on a tear last night. And again, it's going to sound like a broken record, but he's a player who, likes to jump out. Paolo Banchero had a very specific term for it. When I spoke to him pregame, he described the Raptors, who are getting 20.9 deflections per game, uh, as a team that loves to play run and jump defense. They love to run out into a passing lane, get the basketball, and just go out and fly. And that's the way Scotty Barnes plays. He's kind of the head of the snake in that regard. So what you really have to do with him is minimize his opportunities. And when you talk about taking care of the basketball, that not only means like not making silly passes, but also taking shots when they're available, when they're created for you. That means not passing up an open opportunity to get it to a guy that you want to see down low, etc. You have to take the shots when they're there, because chances are the Raptors have closed down that secondary option. Unlikely Jellyfish, saw that Isaac Valanciunas steal highlight. Yes, absolutely. Need to see more of those for him. Brian, this will be a teaser for the Eastern Conference Finals. I feel like both teams are going to go so far. Well, you look at Scotty Barnes' numbers right here, almost 20 points per game, stuff in the stat sheet with 8.4 rebounds, 5.2 assists, shooting over 50% from the field because a lot of his shots come at the rim. He is a guy who personifies having defense fuel their offense, and at the same time is a creator as well. Very versatile defensively. We see that up and down the Toronto Raptors roster. They have guys who could play all types of position, whether it be Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram. You look up and down the list. Emmanuel Quickly can be versatile. Jamal Shed. They have guys who can be really effective in that regard. And the Magic are going to have to be ready for that, because there have been times this season where Scotty Barnes has played the 5 and played center for the Raptors. And on a night where RJ Barrett's out, even though he just returned from a 15-game absence against the Warriors, he is out tonight on the second night of a back-to-back for Toronto. So that the Raptors are going to look at some unique lineup combinations. And we're looking at Emmanuel Quickly's numbers tonight, 16.5 points. He could get it going in a hurry. Over 6.4 assists. That's an area that I think has been underrated about his game this season. Really getting teammates involved as the Raptors have worked him into their system. So that's an area that you're going to have to pay attention to when he comes in the game. He can heat up in a hurry, whether that was before when he was with the New York Knicks or now with the Toronto Raptors. He could change a game in a moment, and you don't want to do that, especially with guys like B.I., Pick Barnes, and Quickly on the floor. So it's going to take a collective defensive effort tonight. They have a lot of scoring guys who could put the ball in the bucket. Taking a look at Paolo Banchero, I thought he had one of his best stretches since returning from a groin injury that sidelined him from 10 games against the Denver Nuggets in that fourth quarter. He had about 4 possession stretch where he scored 2 buckets and also provided the switch for Anthony Black when Anthony Black got switched onto Nikola Jokic. Just great awareness. And Jamal Mosley said that's something he talked to Paolo Banchero about in their film session, sitting down, watching the game together. That was an area he highlighted, and Paolo has stepped up in that regard. And what really goes unnoticed is just his playmaking. He draws so much gravity. He's seeing 2 or 3 guys send at him every time he puts the ball on the floor. And that's the kind of respect he's earned. So as he continues to get back in his rhythm, he was talking to me about it, as that rhythm starts to come back, those shots he's so accustomed to hitting will start to fall. We look at the season for Paolo Banchero, 19.8 points per game, close to 8.2 rebounds, 4.5 assists. I think as the season goes on, those assist numbers are going to start to jump, because he has been generating looks for guys that aren't going down right now. But as those other guys he's generating looks for become Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, Mo Wagner, as those guys return from injury, I think those assist numbers are going to pop and finish the season well over 5. Looking at some of the other ones, don't worry, guys, it's Goga time. Yes, one of the bright spots of Shootdown and Magic head coach Jamal Mosley revealing pregame, Goga Batadze is back. We don't know how many minutes he will play tonight, but he did tell me that Goga Batadze is feeling good and is back in uniform for their Orlando Magic tonight. That'll be big for them, because as we alluded to, the Raptors are a little thin at center, so the more big bodies the Magic can throw at them down low to wear them out and control the glass, get those second chance points that have been eluding them lately, uh, it'll help the Magic get back in the rebounding column, second chance points column. All those areas will be affected, I think, positively by Goga Batase's return. Jay is starting to show us his whole bag, says Jay Kirby's here for it. As a lifelong Magic fan, I hope he's a lifer. He's always had great poise and professionalism. Yeah, it's hard pressed to find a better dude than J.I. Has just been so willing to play whatever role is asked. And I think, that's hard to do. It may be one of the reasons why defensive rhythm gets a little bit in and out at times. But boy, was he special against the Denver Nuggets the other night. And that's what's so valuable about him. When you talk about players who could defensively shift a playoff series, especially as games go more to the half court in the postseason, J.I. is one of those guys. And I think that's why he can be such an X factor come the postseason. Will the Magic show the aggressive nature and attitude that wins games, or play a less aggressive game that has led to some recent losses? Questioned by Stephen Keller. I think they're going to build off that off that Denver Nuggets game where they were very aggressive, and I think they know that's the way they need to play, especially with some guys like Franz Wagner and Jalen Suggs being out. Now, it's a little bit harder to do when two of the hearts and souls of your energy department, being Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner, are on the sideline, and one of your best defenders and two-way players, Franz Wagner, along them as well. But the Magic have found ways to do it, and that comes down to guys like Anthony Black, Desmond Bane, etc. I think they know how they have to play tonight and match the intensity of a Raptors team, who will, however, be playing their third game in 4 nights. So if the Magic could jump off to a hot start, they may be able to break the Raptors' will a little bit. QB1, P5, absolutely. That's the type of command he's showing out there right now, playing a very cerebral game and setting up his teammates. Looking at some of the comments on TikTok, Bane, Paolo, Black need to lock in. In my opinion, those will be the 3 leading scorers for the Magic tonight. So absolutely going to need big nights from all of those guys. Play the song. Hopefully they're doing that here tonight in Toronto. That would be nice. Someone happy the Magic liked their comments. Look, this is an interactive show on Hard Rock Bet. Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet. All comments can be liked. They can be answered. So keep your questions coming. TikTok, YouTube, etc. Happy to answer them. Des and AB's connection seems to be growing. Yes, that's an excellent point, because those two guys are cut from the same cloth. They're both dogs on the basketball court. They like to talk a lot of smack. They're high competitors. They're both great players. So that's a backcourt connection, along with Jalen Suggs, that's only going to build as the years go by. And yes, I think their connection on the court can grow as well, with no-look passes, feeding each other. AB had this look that he would give Gary Harris when he was the member of the Magic, where they just look at each other and they knew that was the time that they were going to start pressing full court. I can look for bonds like that to be built between AB and Desmond Bane and Jay Suggs as well. Jay Curve loves that connection. How can you not? Those two guys have been extremely special for the Magic, a reason why they still have a winning record and are near the top of the Eastern Conference, despite dealing with so many injuries this season. As we continue to look at Paolo working with God, Shamgod, if I give you some insight into Kendra's Quarter tonight on FanDuel Sports Network, it's going to be about Anthony Black and his work with God Shamgod. He put in a lot of time with him this offseason, has put a lot of time in with him, head coach Jamal Mosley, player development Jeremiah Boswell as well, to continue to elevate his game. So that's going to be an interesting segment on Kendra's Corner tonight during the television broadcast, which will begin at 7 p.m. and tip off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you check that out. I saw Kendra doing the interview and some great stuff there, both with AB and God Shamgod. What's the update on Colin Castleton? We could use him until Mo Wagner comes back. He's going to be out a while. He's got a fractured hand. So don't expect him back anytime soon. Heard it down in the G League, but he's on a two-way there. As we look at AB, averaging over 15 points per game, no number continues to rise. It seems like each game we're doing this with Courtside Countdown, that number gets higher. Expect that trend to continue, averaging 4.2 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists, shooting over 45% in the field. That's a testament of his finishing at the rim that we've seen with guys like Sham God, assisting him. We're doing work with Desmond Bain, Tyus Jones as well. So great stuff from AB so far this season. As we look at some of the more comments on TikTok, etc., seeing some comments about the Raptors and the challenge they could provide. Yes, absolutely. They could be an aggressive team, no doubt about it. A lot of play the song. Love to hear it. Absolutely. Some comments. Anthony Black for most improved player. Absolutely. There was a great story by Josh Cohen on OrlandoMagic.com detailing the criteria for most improved player in the NBA and the things that Anthony Black has done to qualify for that. So we're seeing a lot of improvement out of AB this season, and I think he's going to be in the running for that award because you talk about the criteria for it. AB's lived to every element about it. Raptors signed Mo Bamba. Hope we see him tonight. Yeah, Mo would love to show out against his former teammates, the former team that drafted him. No doubt about it, Mo Bamba would love to see some court time tonight. Remains to be seen. However, when you consider that the Raptors went to overtime last night against the Golden State Warriors with a number of their starters playing in excess of 40 minutes, I think that they're going to empty their roster tonight, and we're going to see a lot of players up and down getting at least a little burn. The love of Mo Bamba throws me off. People couldn't wait for him to go when he was here, but seen so much love for him since his signing in Toronto. And look, I'm going to say this, rightfully so. Mo Bamba's a good dude, did a lot of things in the Orlando community, great human being, always tried to get better. The NBA journey isn't the same for every player. It takes a while to figure things out. He went down to the G League, made the most of his time, got a call up. So you always root for guys like that who continue to fight to have a spot in the NBA because it's not easy. Each year, you have 60-plus players coming in who are trying to take your spot, a lot of high-end talent. That's why these guys get paid a lot of money because they're the best of the best and a huge crop. Jacob, shout out to Mo, though, for still making and leaving in the league. Absolutely. That's so much of what the journey is about. As the comments keep coming, on a number of different platforms, watching from the Philippines tonight, I like it. International flavor, both for the Orlando Magic and getting some support from overseas. Love that tonight. Blue and white ignite. Yes, the old playoff saying. Hopefully, Magic played here in the playoffs in 2019. We saw that DJ Augustine game winner. I had the same vantage point as from where I'm sitting right now when that occurred. That was a special game. That whole team fed off that. One of the most memorable moments in Magic history over the last 10 years. Love AB for MVP. Absolutely. MIP, yes. MVP, MIP, whatever you want to call it. The way he's been playing, he keeps that up with 38-point performances. You never know what kind of hardware he could bring home. But you have to love what you're seeing from AB. We're seeing Tyus Jones, and have some Tyus Jones stats I'd like to share with you all really quickly. When you look at it for the Orlando Magic, since November 15th, that's a 19-game span, the Magic ranked first in fewest turnovers per game with just 12.3 of them per outing. Tyus Jones has been a big key factor in that because he once again has the league's best assist to turnover ratio. And that's something he's done 6 times in his career already. And he is currently the only point guard in the entire NBA plus minutes and no more than 10 turnovers. So that's the kind of production you're getting out of Tyus Jones right now. And while the team is struggling a little bit with offensive rebounds and on the glass, making sure you win the possession game by not turning over the basketball has been absolutely huge. It's helped the Magic overcome some rough shooting nights, helped them when they're, not as good on the glass and when the other teams are making threes at a high clip. His, ball security and that floor general nature of his is helping the Magic win that math game that's so important night in and night out. Jay Curb, No Patenda is our International Rookie of the Year so far, no doubt about it. We're seeing some great minutes out of Noah Penda in some stretches there, so gonna be good to see that as well. If I believe correctly, that is Mo Wagner also down there working alongside Tyus Jones as he continues to improve in his rehab process. Mo Wagner has progressed to some 2-on-2, 3-on-3 action, and that's so good to see as well because the Magic kind of need his energy out there on both ends of the floor. Play that song from Sydney, Australia. Love it, no doubt about it. Would love to see the Magic play the song tonight. And getting support from the Philippines, from Sydney, Australia, is so special to see Magic fans all over the globe, which is a reminder that later this month, the Orlando Magic will be playing the Memphis Grizzlies internationally, both in Berlin, Germany, and London, England, in the UK. So if you're overseas, those are an opportunity to get to see Orlando Magic in person. Tickets gone fast, but I'm sure there's a way you can find your way in the building. Need a bucket, call AB. That's the right way to put it. You see that phone ringing, him having his hand up, the guys on the sidelines supporting it. That means good things are happening for Anthony Black and the Orlando Magic. And if he keeps up the way he's playing, there's no doubt about it that phone bill's going to rack up quite a bit. Now taking a look at the Orlando Magic's upcoming schedule, the road trip continues later this week on Wednesday. The Magic bring in the new year against the Indiana Pacers at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The team will then depart after that game, get right over to Chicago, where they'll take on Nikola Vucevic and the Chicago Bulls the day after New Year's on January 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the Orlando Magic will come home for a long homestand of all of one game as they get ready to see the Indiana Pacers once again. And Pascal Siakam and their guys are always a challenge, as we saw that team push so far deep into the postseason last year. And even though they're without Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton now, they're still a tough team to beat. So that'll be two good tests for the Magic, along with the Chicago Bulls as well. So for Orlando Magic tonight, just getting back to the quick keys, it's going to be taking care of the basketball, pushing the pace against a tired team, doing that with purpose, taking open shots when they're there, and at the same time, finding ways to slow down the fast break Toronto Raptors on defense. So that'll do it for me, Magic fans, but the show is just beginning. You'll want to turn into Dante Marchitelli, JT, Kendra Douglas, and the gang on FanDuel Sports Network. Their pregame coverage is right about to begin, and the game action will start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, Magic fans, I appreciate your support on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, etc. And we'll catch you next time when the Magic get set to visit the Pacers on Wednesday. See you then.